We're
Let me
recording.
do, let
Oh,
me do my breathing exercises first.
Yeah,
Okay,
okay.
we'll just get started.
as long as you're
Me,
ready.
me, me,
Yeah.
me, 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 me,
Me,
me, me,
me,
me,
me,
me,
me, me, me, me.
me.
Okay.
All right. Welcome to 199. Hopefully you cannot hear Max crying in the background.
Haven't we been in the
We would
90s?
like,
We've been
what's
in the
that?
90s for
Nine
like nine
episodes.
episodes.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
the 8 episodes technically.
It
Well, no.
seems like it's
Yeah.
been like nine. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay.
it's
Okay.
been like,
So 200 is next. It's a big deal.
I believe 200 does come after 199.
Yes.
We don't have
My
anything planned. We thought it was going to
my
fall right in line with the con.
my grandmother
con.
always said that you'll remember the 200th, but that's
Yeah.
all she said. She didn't really say anything else. That was it.
Yeah. It was just the 200.
It
Yeah.
will be our bicentennial episode.
Yeah.
We don't have anything planned. Well, we do. It's called SplinterCon.
Con.
Con.
So,
Yeah.
um, sorry, I'm getting sidetracked because Leo is trying to talk to me while we are recording. Where's my what? Sorry, I
Doesn't he
All
don't I
good.
understand?
don't know.
Doesn't he understand the power of the splinter?
Yeah,
Does he
man.
know the force? The splinter
It
force
drives me
is strong.
nuts. It's like for an hour and a half. Can we just not have the kids coming and asking me questions?
Hey,
But like this is the time where they're like, "Where's Daddy?"
hey,
It's
guess what? The next step is they move out.
So not for a long
Debbie
time.
Downer. You're gone.
I'm getting to the point now where it's very difficult even trying to manage them,
Yeah, it gets
especially
worse.
with Max. Yeah, I'm sure it will. And on that note, speaking of getting worse, thank you, Grit Automation, for being our platinum level
yes.
sponsor
Grit's helping parents nationwide cope with
Yes.
parenting
for the
challenges.
con. Yep,
Yes,
Look on.
all
Absolutely.
through workshop automation.
yes,
Get
parents.
rid of your child problems today. Buy Grit.
Grit solves all of your stress.
Yep,
You should be in marketing.
I should be. I mean, I
Maybe
kind of
social
am.
media. Maybe
Yeah.
social media.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I'm
Yeah.
actually
Look,
starting to have a little bit of love towards social media again.
that's
Like I'm
good.
ready. I'm ready for this holiday season of posting videos on YouTube because maybe it won't be such a dead zone anymore.
Yeah, it has been all summer, hasn't it?
Yeah, but I've got all kinds of videos in the queue ready to go, and I'm actually going to film them because I don't care about views anymore. So
Good.
that's good. It's not holding me back. I have a whole list sitting right here on my desk. Um, but anyway, we have a topic that we can address, and that was given to us by Nathaniel, or one of our wonderful patrons, and he
That's
left in the
I always mess up how to pronounce his name. Nathaniel?
Nathaniel. I mean, I
Nathaniel.
I might be saying it wrong too. He just
But
puts Nathan in Discord.
that's what I've been calling him, Nathan.
I think that's what he goes by.
Oh, I'm
He'll
so
comment on this.
confused.
I think I've said it before, and he actually commented and said you nailed it. So
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel, yeah,
Nathaniel.
it's something like that. He's a great patron.
Yes, he is.
Um, Unfortunately, will not be at the con.
Oh man.
Not
He was
this
there
year.
last year. Hey,
He was there last
that
year.
makes me think. I used to call Ronnie Ronai, like rice or
Yeah.
Ronai.
Yeah. That
Yeah,
was when I lived in
like
Indonesia.
Aaron.
I
Like
lived in Indonesia for a
Aaron.
while. I was
D
trying to build
nice.
I was trying to build furniture out of rice paddies and it was a failed venture, but that's what he called me because it just sounded good.
Yeah.
Where
Roni Fine Woodworks.
Yeah. Didn't work out. There wasn't the customer base for it. Like everybody just kind of looked at me when I was so I just left. They probably
Everybody's
right?
everybody's
That
gonna
blends.
call you Rice Roni at
That
the con.
that's where it came from. Rice Arani just kind of evolved.
Rice Arani. Ooh, there we go. Rice Arani.
Yeah.
Rice
Can
Roni.
make custom one of a kind stickers. Rice Arani.
There you
I'm
go.
sure that one of our patrons will probably make a meme, Rice Arani, because they did make a meme of me of the Will It Fit conversation that we had, how I could do a new series of Will It Fit on YouTube. And it was
Nice.
getting kind of sexual. Yeah, they I don't know if you guys saw it. Here, I'll show you.
I, you know, I
And
don't think
I'm
I did
holding
see that.
cucumbers, a cucumber and a zucchini.
Nice.
Will
It
it
was made
fit?
with AI.
You should try that out on a thumbnail. I think it would be interesting. You might attract the wrong audience.
Yes.
Yeah. Will it fit? All right, to the
Nice.
question, to the topic. So he writes, he wants to know our opinions on this particular topic, and he says, "Is the traditional workbench obsolete in the modern shop? I personally think it might be time for me to let go my Roubeau, as a lifting table with MFT and vacuum clamps is more useful for me for most tasks, and I would value the space saving, but would love to hear your opinion." So before we talk about it, yeah.
Check your mic.
Oh,
Oh,
good point. I am hearing some echoing. Good point, Sedge.
Yeah.
hold
I
on.
think it is
Hold
out.
on.
Did it
Now,
just all this do it?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, you're coming
that's
back.
it. Good call, Sedge. Yes, you're better.
Yeah,
But was
I
I
heard.
good and then it just dropped
It
off?
was very like
It,
I could hear it fine, but it was echoey.
Oh,
yeah,
interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't
Sedge
on.
heard it
Usually I
though.
look at
I
that.
didn't think about it until he said
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Sounds
Yeah.
good now.
I
Yeah,
need
you
to get
sound
a new one because
amazing.
my
Talk to
uh,
me. Talk to me. Hello.
my adapter screwed up.
Say that
Yeah, so
again.
sorry for the technical difficulties there. This freaking microphone is so old now. Um,
Well, it's almost been used for 199 episodes.
yeah, yeah, mine has.
Yeah,
Um, I
Oh,
want
plus I use mine for bourbon and beer with the boys.
that's true.
also
That's
true.
true.
So that's well over, and I use this for like weekly updates on my own Patreon and
Wow.
voiceovers and all
I do
kinds
mine
of
for
stuff.
voiceovers. I use it for that. Yeah, you're right.
I
A lot
use
of
mine in the
use.
car too.
Do you?
I
I
use
use it
mine
when
when I call my wife.
yeah,
She
just
Yeah,
just
personal
thinks I
calls.
sound better.
yeah.
Hello, baby. How you doing? Yeah, I'm doing fine.
Hello. Why do you sound that way? Don't worry about it.
I'm just maxing it out.
I'm getting the use out of it. All right. So before we go into this, I think that we need to look at this differently than what I when I originally asked you, Sedge. Let's not look at it as is the traditional workbench completely obsolete. I think he's asking, is it obsolete in a modern shop? And if it's somebody is the way I look at a modern shop is that people are mostly automated. And we can cover both
Hmm.
because I personally don't think a traditional hand tool bench is obsolete because it's not, right? It serves a purpose. It's a task.
Hang on. You said hand tool bench. It's a bench. It's a workbench. It's a benchmark. It doesn't have to be
Yeah,
used with hand tools.
correct. But I think that's I mean, there's a perfect example. I immediately associate something like a Roubeau as
Correct.
a hand tool bench because they are typically designed with vices and everything else.
Yes.
And that's kind of the purpose of why you would use it. But you're
Hmm.
right. It's not an end all be all. Like you could never use hand tools at it and it is still a workbench.
It's actually a desk in my shop. That's where everything starts in the morning. That is my benchmark. That's my starting place. The pouch goes on, and I'm there, getting my agenda for the day. I look to see what I have. I do my list of what I'm going to be doing in the shop. But let's keep going because I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. I
I mean,
yeah.
I'll go first, I guess, because I'm Ronnie. Do you have a traditional hand tool
I
bench,
it's
workbench?
it's
Excuse
an
me, said don't yell.
interesting angle. I have the junior size. Was it Chabourg's? What's the name?
Schoberg's.
Schoberg.
Yeah, I've got one
Yeah,
of those.
I have the junior one for Cameron and found myself using it more and more when it was intended for him. So I went, over 20 years woodworking and thinking that I kind of skipped that step, kind of the same as hand tools.
Mhm.
And I feel like I reinvented the use for it when I started doing some things with, and I was like, how am I going to clamp this down? I started looking at this vise and I'm like, wait a minute, this is a great place to flatten these joints. And this is a great place to, and I was like, wow, I'm glad this is so big and heavy because I would be really moving this thing around. So I kind of had to learn the hard way, but I thought for a long time that I was past having that bench. So to answer his question, for me, I feel like it's back to the boat scenario I've said before. I think for a modern woodworker, it's a benefit to have that MFT type setup, but there's also a benefit to having the other bench. And I know some people have space limitations and that makes that hard. So you have to maybe do a hybrid option. But I just like the boats, it's nice to have a ski boat. It's nice to have a houseboat. They both have advantages. And
Ah,
one's not better than the other. It's good to have both.
Mhm.
So that's kind of the way I look
Yeah.
at it now. I look at at that way. So I actually do plan on either buying or building a very nice one on my next shop because I think like Sedge, I think I would use it as my centerpiece of everything that I do for
Well, it's
sure.
funny because you said that. I feel like this is literally just it's like every other tool conversation, right? Do you need it? No. Is it great to have? Sure, because it serves a purpose. It's like I have a track saw. Do I really need a table saw? I could get by without one because I have a track saw and I can do all these things. Or do I have a table saw? Do I need a track saw? Well, not necessarily because I have this, but it is really nice to have it because it does serve a purpose and it would make certain tasks easier. Um,
But you know how
I,
somebody can get,
I I need it. Ronnie, you said it. It's the vices. I
yeah,
use the vices for the power tool setups all the time, jigs, everything. I cannot work without one because the vice you could put a little vice on an MFT3, or you could. I just find it.
but you'd pull
It
that,
is it is
the,
probably it's probably one of my number one tools in my shop. Is my workbench.
the weight and the heftiness of it is so important when you are using hand
oh, for
tools
sure.
because you would knock an MFT type setup all over the place trying to do that.
How
But
do you how do you put weed whacker string in? I vice it and do it right there, and it holds it nice and steady as I put my weed whacker. I use it
I,
for everything.
I tell Cameron the strings out.
I just push a button on my ego and it retracts it.
You know what? I will say a trick.
You
This
got
I
the
think
newer one.
this will work for most people. If you tell your kid you
Hold on,
don't
Ronnie.
know,
Hold that
what?
thought.
You got the new one?
We all know Sedge is the ego truther. You're telling me you don't have the ego trimmer with the self-loading feature.
Nope, nope. Because I got
Oh my
I got
gosh.
the multi head, and I haven't upgraded to the power head. I mean
Sound,
the yeah.
sounds like it's time for another
You know,
video.
It
still,
does, but guess what? I watched a video on how to restring it. Oh my god, it's so easy.
yeah, it is. It is. It's same on the steel. And steel sells preloaded ones, like three pack.
Why?
And yeah, we bought them once and twice, and then Cameron just tried because we were out, and he was like, "I can do it." And I was like, "Well, I don't know how to do it. You're good at that. You keep doing that." So we're at like 2 years later. I'm like, "Cameron, we're low." He's like, "You need to learn how to do it." I'm like, "No, you're really
No,
good
I
at it.
don't. I have you.
Yes.
You're really good at it."
Just like Jason bought that Tormac. Have you sharpened anything?
Heck no. I even
You
got the
got me.
parts. I got the parts to fix it. Have not done
He's
anything with
got
it yet.
he's got me.
You
You
need
need
to-
something sharpened, I'll do
You
it.
need to get Cameron or Sedge to give you the same overview that Sedge gave us.
I mean,
And-
I know how to operate it because I've said
Yeah.
just given it to me. I saw it at
But-
Steve's. I just haven't. I don't think I've pulled. I mean, I've pulled out a chisel a couple of times to do stuff with, but they're already so sharp. I don't need to.
I tell you though, it's
Don't
shocking
need to
to
do
me
anything.
how sharp I think mine are now. And I've been used like I'll use them on the boat a lot, like for 3 or 4 days. And then Cameron will come into the shop and he'll take them out and start sharpening. And I just about throw it through the air when I put it on that. You don't realize it dulls so over time, so slowly. You don't realize how dull, how fast it gets. When he sharpens it, oh, it's so smooth and so perfect. But after a lot of use, it starts not being. It still works, but it's not so smooth.
Right.
So it's great. Um, you know, I also think that's important because of a modern woodworker. If you were overwhelmed by your list of tools that you needed to buy, I will say that a workbench is not high up on the priority list. And if you're watching like videos and stuff, you would think, "Oh, I got to go get a workbench. I've got to."
No.
You don't.
No.
Like, I mean, I built a simple 2x4. You all saw it, a melamine 2x4 with a 4x8 piece of white melamine. I built that for when we started building the boat. I'm still using that right now as a workbench, and it works great. It's heavy enough. It's still used every day. That's where my eventual woodworking woodbench would go. But right now, that works great. Cameron took his little one to the other shop the hour away, so I lost it now. He took it with him, and I'm kind of missing it already. So
How
I'm
dare
thinking,
he?
yeah, yeah. I just really see the need for it. If you didn't have a woodworking bench, I think just having some type of vise that you could use would be fairly important, because if not, you're using bench dogs, and it's really hard to get those small little thin pieces that there's nowhere to grab them from the bottom, and you want to kind of use a planer. But you can get away with not ever having one. I mean, I've made it over 20 years not having a real wood workbench. It depends on what type of building you're doing. Some people maybe never will get hand tools. They're just going to use track saws and miter saws and jigsaws. You don't really need a bench for that, you know?
Now, if the question is, will you ever use hand tools? It's a modern shop, so does that mean it's all power? So if it's all power tools, I use all my power tools. I have two MFTs. I use them all on those. Do I use, sand on my regular bench? Yeah, of course. But it is such Ronnie, you're right with the weight. And also, I'll say it again, for me, I vice everything. I and I
And
use
I
a
mean,
lot of
so
hand.
that would
And
still, regardless if you're using power tools or not. I mean, the vise alone
yep.
is, I mean, that's a huge, because yes, you could put some sort of ice on an MFT, but we all know, unless that MFT is sitting on top of a very heavy platform like mine and locked in place, it's not going to be as easy to plane things as it would be if you had a traditional workbench that had a nice big
Correct.
vise and you were planing a 7 foot or 6 foot long
Correct.
board, and it's not moving, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Now, would you agree also that that's probably not a good first purchase for anyone,
I
because
agree with that.
you need to see how
Ma-
you are as a woodworker and what you're building, and you probably would buy the wrong one if
Yeah.
you bought it.
Make a 2x4 frame. Throw some southern yellow pine up atop. Make sure there's a good lip on it, and drill out some dog holes. And guess what? You got a great bench.
It, it works.
And it's perfect. It's inexpensive.
And you can take time to know exactly what you want from that.
Exactly. It starts small. You don't need anything big,
Hmm.
but then all of a sudden you realize, well, some you may make it too big and go, I don't need all this space. Like he's talking about a Roubo bench. He's probably got bench crafted vices on there, and that is massive. Um, and you guys know the Roubo bench,
Hmm.
Hmm.
Andreas Roubo. He was the furniture. He was head of furniture shop in France for I think Louis the 14th. And it's just all the books. I have several of the books, Roubo books, and I've always wanted one, but it's massive. It's so he's thinking, do I need all this space taken up as well? Where
Right.
he mentioned vacuum clamping systems, and he mentioned elevated lift, a scissor lift. It sounds like that's probably all you need. A couple MFTs if you're
Yeah.
not going to use hand tools.
I
I just can't. I can't not work with them.
I mean,
Did that come
you
out
guys
right?
know,
Yeah.
I obviously don't have one. But we have talked about on the podcast before that I'm really interested in having one, but I'm more interested in having some sort of hybrid.
Yep.
And that is what I think is the perfect scenario, right? Because here's the issue that I've seen. Like right now, my work table is 3 MFTs, which is almost 4 foot by 8 foot. Not quite, but dang near close.
Yep.
That's too big for me now. I don't need it. I don't need all that space. Is it good to set a sheet of plywood on there and cut it? Yeah, sure. But I can also put a 4x8 sheet of foam on top of a 3x6 surface and cut it, and it'll be just fine. Like it's not going to hang off, or it's not going to, bow or anything like that. So I have come to appreciate the space savings. And in a perfect world, I think right now, if I was to rebuild something all over again, I would be like 3x6, 4x6, something like that. Probably 3x6. And I've been throwing around this idea, and somebody actually made one. Tamar from 3x3. She made an amazing one, and she has a video about it. It's awesome. It's exactly the kind of style that I wanted to go for, which is like half MFT style, half workbench style. Because the struggle that I have found as I was looking to buy, because we had talked about this before, I didn't want to spend a ton of money, but I kind of wanted to get something and figure out what it is that I wanted. Like Ronnie, you said, like, you don't know what you want until you have it, you use it, and then you change. And so like everybody kept saying, Jason, just build one, just build one. I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to build one because I don't know what I want in it. So why not just buy one ready now, come up with the design, and then after I figure out what I like, I can design something. The problem is with workbenches, unless you're building a big split top roubeau that has 16 to 20 inch each side, the max you're going to get out of one of those things that you buy 24 inches, 28 inches, right? And that would be pretty big. That's not wide enough, right? So your option is to build one yourself. And that's where I think the hybrid really comes into play, because it's that whole idea of, you know, do I need it? No.
Yeah.
Is it in the same footprint of what I already use and need? Yes. But now I have the capabilities of both.
You know, I will say that my 4x8 temporary one that I built, which October will be 2 years, it's been in my shop. The 4x8 melamine piece, I've used that for a lot of things. And I do find myself reaching over on both sides regularly on everything that I'm building, not just boat things. And I used to think those benches, the standard type of woodworking benches, were too thin, but I'm thinking they're probably onto something, because if it's much wider than that, you find yourself either having it on one end of the bench, one side, and you can't reach it from the other side, or you're sliding it over the other way, because I found myself doing that a lot. So I think they maybe are on the right track with it being that width, because
Oh,
4
certainly.
feet 4 feet is too wide.
I
You had
100%
that
agree.
you had that MFT, like you still have that MFT build table, don't you? It's like
I
you find yourself reaching a lot,
who
I think.
who made that very famous portable table? I saw one on a burn pile.
Yeah, those MF the
Ryobi?
POC workbench. Yeah. So the POC workbenches were, I don't think they were quite 48. I think they were,
That thing was massive, though, wasn't it?
yeah, but I think I made mine a little bit wider because I still doubted it. I made it maybe like 40 inches wide, but it was too wide. Even working with
Yeah.
portable, it was wider than I needed
Was
it
it
to be.
was it heavy?
Yes. Yeah, it was, especially that one, because I used a lot of 3/4. It was before I knew that half inch is just as, um, using half inch on the top and bottom of the sandwich makes a massive difference
Have
than
you ever
using
met him,
3/4. Who?
Ron Paul?
Ron? I haven't. I
I
haven't.
haven't either.
And there was a phase where I watched every single one of his videos. Like I built
Yeah,
a table off from his. I built his miter saw station. I've never
yeah,
met him. He lives, I think, in Washington.
yep.
He
Yeah,
lives out.
I it sounds funny. I don't know if he ever listens to the podcast, but I just listened to one of his videos, and I was like, I thought, wow, what a great video.
You know, it'd
I'd
be
like to,
awesome to have him on.
I'd like to meet him someday.
It would be awesome. I've never heard him on a podcast before. I only know
I
he's only
know.
makes videos, but he lives really close to the Fast Cap company. I
Oh,
know that
okay.
he's done some tours of that before. He lives
And
in that
that's
area.
and he sells his plans through them too.
Yeah, he works
It-
closely with them.
I
yeah.
could probably get his contact info because he is an affiliate for TSO.
Well, I mean,
Oh,
we would have a lot to talk to him about because he's all into the sustainer storage and
yep.
for the Festool side and compact and all that. He's got some great ideas and got some great videos that have been out there for a long time, and I've watched a bunch of them. Yeah, that would be a good person to
Yeah.
get on there. He's made probably 3 different versions of workbenches over the years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the video I watch how it evolved.
The
It's
most
pretty
copied
cool.
workbench on the internet.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I'll say too that the MFT style is a great one. The one that he designed, not the MFT like the Festool, but just the simple half-inch plywood with the dog holes. It's
Yeah.
great to have a CNC and do that with a half on both sides and then 3/4 for your uprights. It's surprisingly sturdy and strong. The only thing that would be lacking is the weight for using like hand tools. But for portability and working, that type of bench setup could last you for many, many, many years. And
Yeah.
I've used those before as my primary. The only thing that kind of sucks is moving them around. They're considered to be portable though, and they are, but they're just kind of they're still heavy.
Yeah. Huh.
But that's an option.
I when I watched the video, I thought, you know what? If I was still doing what I used to do, and I was able to set up in a garage, somebody's garage, and I knew I was going to be there 2 days or three, I would have made one of those and just brought it to that job site.
Yeah, for sure.
You know?
Yeah.
For sure. And I used to set up in that when we would buy a rental house that we were doing a total renovation on, I would find the longest place in the house and I would set that usually in the living room going into the hallway. I would
Yeah.
set up my miter saw station and it was really nice to have that the whole renovation. I wouldn't usually move it any at all. It would just stay right there and it
I
makes you like
know.
a superhero.
I'll just say this: I have a colleague at work, and he took home he's doing a second story remodel, and he says to me the other day, I took home the KSC 60, and I took home the CSC 50, I took home a CT 26, and I set it on the second floor. He goes, you know what? We make really, really, really good tools.
Yeah.
And I started laughing, and I went, "Yeah, dude, we do."
I
It's
tell you,
it's funny when you set up at home inside the home. You know,
yeah.
he's a tradesman. I was a tradesman. He was a tradesman, and we had a tendency to forget.
Yeah.
Well,
You
that's where you
know?
really see the value.
I
Yeah,
really appreciate that stand and the extension wings after using the MFT setup that I had made. It's so much easier. And I'd never had it with the power one, with the battery powered one.
Mm,
When it made me wish that I had it before because it is so easy to set up. It's so fast and light and all those things. So I'm appreciative of that. It does everything that my MFT did, and it's on a lot smaller footprint, a lot lighter, and it's
yeah.
dead on accurate. My
I think
my battery one currently is out, by the way. I cut a piece of aluminum a little bit too small and it sucked it up into the saw and it's jammed and like I have to take it apart and figure out why. Like even the guide's not coming down.
Really?
The protector thing,
Yeah.
it's something is just jammed in there. Like it won't do anything. So
well, speaking of the cordless Capex, when I was doing the trim for the basement, so I had my cordless Capex set up in the basement, and I had like the MW1000 work table set up. I used the table that the CSC Sys 50 sits on. I used that as a platform for stuff. But I went to go start cutting my molding or my baseboards, and I didn't move the fence.
He trimmed it a little.
Oh, I trimmed it a little. I trimmed it good, and because I was just like ready to go, and I like beveled the miter saw, and I like go down to make my first cut, and I'm like, "What, dummy? You got to move the fence over." And I cut about that much, probably about a 3/4 of an inch to an inch right into it. But I'll tell you what, it cut right into that thing like it
oh
was
yeah.
nothing.
Oh yeah. I've cut my first one.
Yeah.
Oh, I the year it came out, the regular Capex, I trimmed the good one. And the thing was, it was in front of somebody, and he let everybody know for years before he left.
Was it a class? Was it one of the classes?
No, it was Shane. He said, "You just got the fence, you dumbass." And I go, "Yeah, I'm
Now it's
able to
zero
make
clearance.
mistakes.
Do
I'm
you
able
know
to make mistakes."
I set something down on my Powermatic saw not too long ago. It's like within a year ago, and I was going to cut it. And you know that rail that the rail rides back and forth on. I cut an inch into that rail. It was sticking out the edge of the saw. Didn't even know it. Was cutting a long piece of plywood. Didn't even make a noise or anything. Take it off, and there's a 1 inch cut in the steel like 3x2 bar on the front of the Powermatic saw. Just cut right through it with a wood blade. Didn't even know it. It's crazy.
Wow.
Crazy. It was with a 60. I was using the 60. Didn't even know it. Cameron's like, look, you just cut that. I was like, I didn't even know I cut it. It's
Holy
crazy.
cow.
No
Yeah,
kidding.
That could have been a bad day.
I know. You would think it would at least have like sparked or something. It cut it smooth as could be.
Nice.
Must be
I
that
love
blade
that.
your
I love my
great grandmother used to
TS60.
talk about.
Yeah, that's it. I use a 60 the most. It's for sure, without a doubt. And
Me too.
the HKC is next after that.
Yeah.
You know what I started using the HKC for? This is amazing. Okay.
Laminate
Just think
flooring.
about this. Close. No, that would dull it really quick. But for 13 years, I've been cutting downspouts with, I get out, I have a little cheap miter saw and I get it out and I take the downspouts when I'm doing the deck ceiling. I cut those, I cut the angles on them with the miter saw and it sucks because I have to bring them around just for that. I started about a year or two ago using the HKC to cut downspouts. And all you do is just hold it up like you support it. You put the guide, the rails attached to the saw, and you just take it easy and you go through and it almost cuts all the way through, but not quite. So you flip the downspout over and you match the line up and cut it. It is the quickest way to cut downspouts, and it's even safer than using a miter saw.
Oh
It's
yeah.
totally accurate, portable, works amazing. So I have a dedicated HKC just for cutting downspouts, and it's amazing. Love it.
Huh. Did you put the
Wait,
aluminum blade on there?
Yeah, I do have aluminum blade on there.
How many
That's-
HKCs do you have?
4.
What?
Yeah, I have 4.
We call him at Festool Sedge's retirement account.
Yeah.
Golly, 4?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have 4. I
That's
have
like
4
trim
different sizes.
routers.
I have 4 tracks, like 3 different sizes. One of them really short, and they all have a place. I keep all of them on the van because I use them all the
Yeah.
time. I use them
I
for
call-
cutting 2x10s for deck wood. Like I cut all the 2x10s with it.
Oh.
And you don't want to use the same blade because you can tell it when you cut with aluminum and then try to switch to the wood.
Yeah.
It's not good.
No.
So you got to kind of keep them separate.
Yeah. My nickname for Ronnie is 401k.
401k. Is that a new tool coming out? The 401k.
He Sedge's
401k.
401k. He contributes the most
I tell
to
you
it.
that I've talked about the ability to do the stepping bit into the steel after we install the ceiling. I told Cameron the other day, I'm still giddy about it. And it's been over a year. I said, you know what? When you start doing downspouts, I said, I think I'm taking this drill away and I want you to suffer the way I did for like 13 years of trying every single method to not get scalding hot metal shards coming off on you when you're doing that hole. And some people would be like, why don't you do it before you put it up? You can't because you'll be guessing where that falls. It has to be dead right spot. You can't do it before it goes up. But putting that little, what's it called? The little cone that's like springy.
For the KHC. Yeah. The one that looks like a penis pump.
Yeah. You put that on there and it contains every
I swear
single,
it's not my bag, baby.
it contains everything, and it has been a game changer. Like for drilling, I giggle every time I do it. And Cameron like laughed at me the other day, and that's why I told him, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let you do it. I'm gonna give you a bulldog with a stepping bit in it and just let you go to town on it and see how awful it is. And then you go to the other one, it's just like, oh, it's so nice. So it just reminds me that don't get stuck on the same tool. Always be open to other ways of doing things.
I wish all contractors, well, I know a lot of guys that think like you, but they're also the best of the best. Like you have 4 HKCs. You buy the right tool for the job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You have backups.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't have backups.
Yeah, you got.
They used to scream, "Why does it take so long for a pair?" I go, "Dude, buy one.
Yeah.
Have a backup." I used to tell people.
You got to have backups. Here's a comment I got today on the exoskeleton video. I'm so glad I got out of construction carpentry. The job site isn't what it was growing up. Now, carpenters out there mostly are installers, and they've got pink hammers and exoskeletons and hard hats. And so I talked to Cameron about this today, and I was like, North America, I think it's a U.S. thing. We think we're too men to have hearing protection. We're not doing that. And I was like, and then you're going to be like your papa, 70 years old and can't hear a thing. It's like, well, you were cool on the job site. You were awesome. You didn't care about that loud noise.
Oh,
it's like people with the exoskeleton, it's like, yes, I can still do it without it. But if I want to save myself 15% wear on my body for one day, Can you imagine how that would add up? But there's still this mentality of people on a job site. They're just
It's
like,
pride.
no, they worry about what other people think about them, even when they're 30 and 40 years old. Isn't that funny?
So I had somebody, I think I told this on the podcast. I think Ben was with us then, and I told a story. I learned early on about using the right respirator when I'm spraying because I had a guy come into the marine store I worked weekends on, and he says, "Hey, you spray a lot, huh?" And I go, "Yeah." He goes, "You wear a mask?" I go, "Most of the time." He goes, "Wear it all the time." I go, "Why?" He goes, "Because I'm gonna die." I go, "What? What are you talking about?" He sprayed a lot of polyester finish, and he worked for I think Sovereign Trading. He used to spray a lot of yachts, and he goes, "I used to joke around, and it kind of reminds me what you just said. Oh, you remember the old timers? I want to look cool, stuff like that on job site." He goes, "I used to tell people, I'm gonna die anyways." He goes, "Well, I'm gonna die. I have lung cancer, and I can't do anything about it." He was gone within 4 months.
Gosh.
And to this day, it sits in my head. When I grab my spray gun, I put a respirator on. I spend good money on respirators too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Unfortunately, I think a lot of people maybe wait till they're in their 50s range to start really caring about that, and it may be too late.
it
That's
is.
that's what worries me a little bit, that I start caring. And I find myself doing it with Cameron today. I saw he was grinding his axles on the Jeep. He's grinding off all the mounts, and I'm looking at it, and there's sparks flying off. I'm like, shouldn't you be maybe wearing a mask? And he's like, well, it's all getting shot right over this way. And that's the way I used to think too.
Yeah.
But it's like you just don't think about it when you're 18, 20,
Nope.
30. But it's all that kind of stuff adds up, and it's toxic, you know.
Oh yeah.
So it's but I regularly see anytime I have a post with something that, the exoskeleton is like the poster child for that thing. But
Mm.
anything, people are just very hesitant. They're like, oh, I would get laughed off the job site if I wore that. What does that mean? That means they want it, but they don't think they can do it because of peer pressure. You know?
Yeah.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
You're preaching to the choir on that one.
I see it. Like that post is what, 2 years old, and I regularly get the same type of comments on that.
I hear I'll be laughed off. I'll be laughed off the job
I
site.
see that a lot. I see that one a lot. And then
Yeah.
one somebody said the other day, they're like, "Is this serious? Is this a real post?" I was like, "People just don't like change, too." That's the
No,
other thing.
that's what it is.
Yeah.
And I've been doing this my whole life. Then you show them something, they go, if they're humble enough, they come after you. They come afterwards and say, "I've been doing it wrong all this time."
Whenever they say that, I'm always thinking,
they don't want to admit it
well, it's
that
like,
they were wrong.
are they still using a hand driver to do all their screws? I better not catch them with a power drill.
You
I mean,
using
they're
slotted screws?
yeah.
I guarantee you, though, the minute that first drill came out, there was a lot of people that would say, like, you don't need that. Why would you want to
Oh,
use
my dad
that?
was one of those.
Yeah, it's typical
My dad
with
fought
everything.
drills. He'd fought drills forever. I was using them. He's like, I don't need that. He's an electrician. They use hand
Yep.
whatever, and he just didn't like the idea of it. And finally, he got the knack of it, and it kind of clicked with him. And he was like, "Oh, this is much faster," And he started liking it. But if you're used to hand, you're gonna be like, "No, I don't want to do that."
Yeah.
But someone getting into woodworking about his question, I feel like it also has to do with what type of woodworking you want to do. There's some people maybe that know that's what they want to get into is hand tools. And then that's when I think it would be more important for them to start really learning about a bench like Sedge's.
Hey, I'll bring this up. You just said something about a comment. This sometimes I have to sit and read what they're trying to ask me because they, I think they're from America or they're really, really. There's some they just type really quick, and I'm like, what are they asking me? Are they trying to insult me or say something? And you have to almost translate it. I think they're drunk.
Well, have you noticed that it seems like a lot of them, they're like talking like you're a third party. They're like, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. I'm like, do you realize you're posting it to my page?
Yeah.
This
And
Can't
guy.
see it.
And
I'm
people like want to use me as a Festool sounding board, like I'm gonna go and say something,
oh, I'm sure
And
they
it's just
do.
like,
I'm
and
sure they
the other
do.
one is I have a problem with my Kalex. Uh,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
just, and I'm
My
like,
Festoon Kalex.
yeah, my
My
Festoon
festoon
Kalex.
deer.
Oh, okay. And then I
Deer.
just sit there and I go, and I'm up at 4 in the morning. I'm reading this. I'm going, oh, I woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
Oh, it's funny. Fun times.
Yeah. It's like no one in their right mind would who does work professionally wears a tool belt. And I go, how am I gonna
Where do I go
I
with
don't
that?
I don't wear a
Yeah.
tool belt. I wear a pouch.
Yeah.
And I'm a cabinet maker. I've always worn a pouch. I don't wear a tool belt. And he was commenting on a video where I don't even use anything. And I'm like, who is this? Or is he trying to say you should be wearing a tool belt? I don't know. I think he's just drunk.
Well, you know, the ones that regularly, like I'll wake up first thing and I'll see that. And sometimes I'll read one and I'll think it's like they're trying to insult me. And I'll read it like six more times and I realize they're not insulting me. They're just making a comment. Have you had that happen?
Oh
You're like
yeah,
going,
all the
oh,
time.
what are they? Oh, they don't think. And then I'm like, wait a minute. I think what he's saying is that I like the way you did it that way, but it comes
Yeah.
across as almost like they're saying, why did you do it that way? But then you're like, I don't think they're putting me down. I think they're saying they liked it.
I like the ones that do the double responses. They'll say, "Hey, you should do it up," and then they go, "Never mind. I watched the whole thing."
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
those. I love the second. You get a second comment, and they're like, "Never mind. I saw the end. You did it." That's funny. I had somebody post on the boat build video the other day. Haven't responded to him. And you know how I talk about bending the 1/4 inch plywood? One
Yeah.
guy was like, "You should use 1/8 inch plywood and put it on there, and then laminate it and put it on there." And I'm thinking, okay, first off, I'm not sure you can buy 1/8 inch plywood. First off, let's just start there. Second, how much epoxy would I have to mix up to do an entire on that huge part and then try to bend that and keep it stay? I don't think that would be, and I'm doing what they said to do in the 50s. You know, it's like it worked
Yep.
for them then. Why am I going to change that?
It's somebody who is compelled to comment who's never done it. He thinks, "Oh, he isn't." Yeah, they want to help you,
Hmm. Well,
maybe.
he said I would lay it in opposing directions. And I'm
Oh
like, you're
God.
explaining what marine plywood is.
Yes.
That's what marine plywood is. I was like, or we could just buy it 1/4 inch already made and bend it one time. But that kind of comment, sometimes I don't know what to respond because I don't want to just respond and say, I don't agree with you. So I just kind of let those go.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
Yeah. No.
It's interesting.
I want to hit Google Translate on some of these, but what do you do? Translate drunkenness to English? Is that an option?
AI
I,
translator.
I like the ones that are written in another language and you can hit translate
Yes.
to English
Yes.
and then you
Yeah.
read it and you're like,
No,
what?
those are
Yeah.
generally positive when I get those.
Yeah, me too.
They are
Yeah.
generally positive. They're generally, I'm so glad I found this. I want to learn. I like to, it's usually like really very nice, very, very
Yeah.
complete, and I'm not confused. It's kind of a nice, I love that actually. When I see one and it says, I have no idea what it says, and it's like translate, and you hit it and you're like, oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
it's
respond
cool.
with thank you in whatever language it was.
Yeah.
Like I'll use
Do you really?
Google
Yeah,
Translate. Oh yeah.
that's
Well,
They
I
always
got
get a
one in
kick out of it.
French. I got one in French a couple days ago, and I translated it, and I thought, okay, I just typed back merci beaucoup, and I didn't get a spell check. I remembered something from my 3 years
good.
of French.
There you go.
I didn't know
There you
you
go.
took French.
Oh, you have to in Maine.
Nicole,
Um,
Nicole went to school for French.
oh no shit.
Yeah, she probably wouldn't be able to speak much of it now, but
Oh, I can't speak anything. I know how to say really bad swear words in Quebecois. I used to hear people down in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood area, say something, and I'd walk up to them, I say a couple words, and they'd go,
you don't look French.
"Yeah, I'm half French. My mom's French." Bosse is her maiden name.
Well, Nathan, we answered your question.
Hey,
Now you can get off our backs.
I got another one, a deep thought that hit me that's been floating in my brain. And I want you all to absorb it as well. It kind of has to
Deep
do with
thoughts with
workbenches.
Ronnie.
It has to do with workbenches because while we were talking about it, I started thinking about flattening one. And I was like, which plane would I use to flatten my workbench when it didn't? So, and it made me remember about this. So I have in my shop something that I bought, a bowling alley in our town closed, and they sold parts of the floor. And I bought this has been like 5 or 6 years ago. I bought a 5 foot section of the bowling alley floor, and it's leaning against my wall in my CNC section. And I see it every time I pull in my car for the day. And it's extremely heavy maple. And
Mm-hmm.
one day I went and got lunch, drive through, came back, was sitting there, and I was still eating. And I looked to my left and looked at it and started thinking about this. Have you ever thought about, with as a woodworker, what we know about wood? Have you ever thought about that a bowling alley is far from perfect? Like they're
Oh
laying a
yeah.
wood floor down, and how are they flattening it? How are they flattening it by running a drum sander up and down it? They're not using a CNC with a flattening bit
No,
that's running the entire length
it's
of
all
the bowling
sanded
alley.
in.
It's sanded to what looks like perfection, but each one has to be completely different. It's like the luck of the draw. There's no way it's perfect. Have you ever
Okay,
thought about
so
that?
I would not take. I had there was a bowling alley in Sunrise, and I found out they were thrown away, and so I went out back, and me and my buddy Jim scavenged. Probably we did 2 nights of it after work. We grabbed 8 footers, the width of bowling alleys. I think we grabbed
Mhm.
10 of them. They
Heavy.
rotted in back of his shop. We never used
Really.
them.
There's
So
there's
so here's where you got to know. And I just recently coached somebody on it. They go, "What do you do?" And I go, "You take it to somebody's shop, but not yours." And they go, "Why?" I go, "Do not try to cut it. There are so many staples and
yes.
nails in there."
Yeah.
And they're going at, okay, so here's your top and bottom, right? They
Uh-huh.
are going in every which way.
Yeah, there's angle iron on the bottom of them.
Yeah.
There's angle
It,
iron that's
it,
screwed in that's to make it flat, quote
yes.
flat. But I'm looking at it going, there's no way that it's flat. It's relatively flat, like the same way your floor, but even a floor in the house, if you're rolling a bowling ball down in it's not going to go perfectly straight.
Hmm.
So it's just funny that we all assume that bowling alleys have perfectly flat floors and they don't. So based on that theory, if you went to a bowling alley, you do better on some lanes than you would others. Like if you went on
You
one
know what
lane,
I'm going to
like
do tonight? Because I'm actually very interested in this now.
You're
I'm going to
gonna
go on
Google it.
YouTube later
Yeah.
and I'm going to see if I can find a video on how a bowling alley lane is made and constructed.
And
That'd be
installed.
very interesting to
I,
find out.
And
unless
installed.
they have a railed CNC flattening slab type setup,
I would imagine they do.
I don't know how it would be.
Because it's
But still, it's always going to
competitive.
move.
I just,
It's going to move that much
So
wood.
it's
don't
maple.
don't don't cut it unless you want to ruin blades.
Yeah, that's what
How
stopped
thick
me.
is it, Ronnie?
I would say 3 inches, at least 3.5.
Wow.
It's
Because
a
you know what?
glue
Now that
up.
you mention that, I really like the idea of that look for the top of a workbench. That would be
It,
really,
that's what I
really
got it
cool.
for was a workbench. And like Sedge said, I noticed there's definitely some stray metal in there from the bottom. That's the way they attach it. They put it on angle iron like every few feet just to keep it
Hmm.
from wanting to curl. But
Hmm.
it's basically just a massive cutting board. And think about it, it's a massive cutting board.
With a
Yeah.
shit ton of staples and nails as they put it together.
I
It's
would say
crazy.
I would say this 5 foot section, which is the full width, weighs probably 250, 260 pounds at least. The way I move it is I rock it. I walk it around and like put it up against the wall, but I don't
Oh, it's
move it a
heavy.
lot because it's so heavy.
Yeah, we
But
did.
but I
We could
just
only grab like 5 of them at a time, 5 or 6 of them.
that's you got a huge steal because they were selling those for 150, 200 each.
You know what? I got them all for free.
That's awesome. I know I said you
Yeah,
did
and guess
great.
what? We never touched them. They just rotted back there at
Well,
Jim's
mine's
shop.
luckily mine's still sitting inside, but I still have not
Yeah,
done anything. I was thinking coffee table and I was thinking workbench. Those are two
yeah.
things I've thought of before, but I don't know. I just started thinking about that, and that would be a good thing. I didn't think about looking it up on the internet. There's probably the answer on there, but I feel like no matter what you found is the way they did it, it can't be 100% accurate on left to right, flat, and to the front to the back. There's just no way. And even if they did it off site when they installed it, it wouldn't be. It's like you can't win with that. But maybe I guess it just doesn't matter because you're throwing with so much force. It's just a place for the ball to spin. But I just found it very interesting. And also that they
I
used
need to
maple.
know this.
They made it 3 inches thick because they knew they needed it dense because you're throwing
Yes.
15-pound balls down on the floor. And they knew which kind of wood to use, from way back. But I don't know, just a thought. Started thinking about it. It'd be interesting if somebody listening to us used to help build bowling alleys because
Yeah.
I don't think a lot of new ones are being built now.
We should
So-
just ask. We should just ask Dirk. I'm sure
Yeah,
he probably
Yeah,
knows
Dirk
who
knows.
invented
So-
Dirk,
bowling alleys.
Dirk will be like, it was from the ancient bowling family.
Yeah.
So this is pretty cool because when I first started working at Festival, I go, who the heck buys those 5,000 rails? The 16 footers. And there's a company that installs all the hardwood floors for the NBA and the NCAA. There's a couple of them. The ones both companies use the 5,000 rails, and from my understanding, because it's manufactured, then it's installed. It's because of the track saw, and this is back in 2006, 2007. It would save them 4 days of installation
Wow.
because of how accurate the saws, the 75 was. That's what they used, and they would connect the rails, and it made life a lot easier for them.
I had that rail and it was awesome. The only thing about it is moving it around. So I finally
Yep.
cut it up. I cut
Yep.
it in pieces. But
Does Festival
it's a
even still
great rail.
sell that long rail?
Nope, no
I didn't
longer.
It's a
so.
shipping problem, isn't it, Sedge?
It is. Yep.
Yeah.
3,000 is the longest one they sell now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it comes in a crate, but it still wasn't enough
Oh
to
my God.
protect it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
those guys. You ever see a nice, gentle truck driver before?
I always see
all
them
the-
go
all
by
the
on the
time.
forklift with the big orange stickers that says "Do not forklift."
Yeah.
Or
And it's
Amazon deliveries. They just, they bring it up, they lay it down very gently on the front porch.
Yeah.
Always.
And what's really interesting is this. I found this out. It's just not the truck drivers. It's the distribution centers or the redistribution centers because they pull it off of one truck to move it to another, and those guys are crazy on the forklifts.
So my power screens, I pick them up at the docks because they use different trucking companies, and I say, just let me know which dock. And whenever I go there, like you said, they're all the trucks line up to each other back in, and they've got a little strip down the middle. And what they do is they unload the truck and they set it down. And if it's going to your business or your house, they'll grab that again with a forklift and jam it into another truck. And that's when the damage happens. If
Yep.
I can get it before they do that and I just pick up, it's always okay. But if I let them do that second step, it's always destroyed in some way
Yep.
or another. It's crazy that the companies know, like the screen company, they put an extra foot on the ends, fill it with styrofoam, and they put an extra 6 inches on the top and bottom of all the boxes because they know they're going to get speared, and they just hope they don't get speared in the middle. And it happens all the time.
I don't
It's-
care what style of crate box we put them in. They just destroy our rails every time.
Oh, I'm sure, especially when it goes over 8 feet.
Yep.
Well, the bad part is they won't lift anything in there. I've went in there before and a box was it was 20 feet long, but only weighed like 80 pounds. And I'm sitting there waiting while they have 2 forklifts trying to lift it. And I was like, guys, I can go and lift that right now and put it on my trailer. It's not heavy. And they're looking at you like you're an idiot. They're like, we don't lift anything. We use our forks. And so I watched them for like 10 minutes trying to get it down with forklifts down a dock. But my alternative to that was I pay drivers now. It's like an Uber to go to Texas and pick them up for me and bring them back. And it's so nice because they're never touched by a forklift. I'm the first person that sees them when they leave the factory. And the cost is comparative on that than using
Really?
freight. Especially if I'm getting back like 4 or 5 screens, it's so worth it. The cost per screen is about the same as what I pay to a trucking facility. So that's the way I've been doing it now for like the past year and a half. And
Interesting.
they come in like a rider, like a U-Haul truck type setup. like a box truck. It's like
Oh,
25 feet long.
you pay a driver to drive like a Ryder truck from
Yep.
the factory
They
up.
leave from Texas. So they're stationed in Texas. They pick up, they come and bring it to me, and then they just go back. And in
Oh,
some
I
cases,
wonder.
it's
Patrick
cheaper.
needs to. I hope he listens to this episode because he's doing the cabinets through Justin Rustic Grain, and he's got like this whole deal to go pick them up. But he was looking into that, like paying a service that would be able to do that. I never even thought that there are probably so many
Hmm.
freelance truck drivers out there that just offer their services up like an Uber.
Yeah, and you think about
That's
it,
so
like
smart.
I would say it's like 1,500 I pay for somebody to go from Plano, Texas, to bring, 6, 7, 8 screens back, drop them off, and then go back. I never have to worry about it again. And cost per screen, that's cheaper than I can get a freight company to do it because they're long and that they're protected. The biggest thing is they're protected. It sucks when one comes in damaged because I have to deal with a warranty claim and I have to wait for the part to come in and it can affect everything. So it's really important that they don't get damaged. There's
Wow.
It's kind of the way to go, but freight companies, there's just too many people that touch them.
Yep. And they don't care. They're
No, they
only,
don't. It's
it,
unfortunate they don't. I mean, they'll even tell you, you'll be like, well, it looks like that one got hit. They're like, yeah, you're just going to have to look at it. And if it is, you have to make a claim, make an insurance claim. I'm like,
yeah.
I don't want to do that. I want it to be okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because now you're dragging everything out.
Yeah. I was up in Canada and we got a shipment into the dealer and it was from us, from Festool. And there was obviously a big hole in there that a fork had gone through. And the guy goes, "No, everything's fine." And my buddy Dan was like, "No." He goes, "I'm going to sign subject to inspection. That doesn't work anymore." So what you got to do? The guys don't want to see that. So he goes, "Well, inspect it now." And they want to just drop and go. And that guy waited, and they opened it up, and there was so much damaged stuff in there. It was crazy.
Yeah,
They just,
it's unbelievable the amount of damage that forklifts can do to things.
you know,
And it's not just that. I had a screen door that I waited on for 2 months that came in last week, and the company wrapped it. They put it in a cardboard box. It was a
mhm.
bronze door. They put plastic around each of the sides to attach the rails that were installed on the jams, and then they just wrapped it with a cardboard box. And just the freight of it being in the cardboard box and moving around, it rubbed the finish like to like a dull finish. So it's like shiny and dull on both sides. And I called the company and they're like, it's our guys. I was like, no, it's not your guys. It's the way that the company shipped it to you. And I told them they're lucky. I know how to fix things. I took a satin clear finish and just lightly hit it so effortlessly and just fixed it.
Nice.
But they're sending me another door, so that's good.
Are they really?
Yeah. I sent them pictures of it and they were like, oh, we're so sorry. Yeah.
Hopefully, they
But
don't
it's
listen to
funny.
this
It's funny,
podcast.
sheen. Sheen is so important. Like you can tell sheen, like it catches your eye as much as a scratch. You can see that dullness when it's
Yep.
shiny. And the
Yep.
easiest way to fix it is even if you have to do the whole door, you just spray it with a consistent clear of something. So I went ahead and sprayed the whole door all the way around all
Oh,
four
wow.
sides.
Yeah.
And you can't spot do that, but if you do, sometimes you get away with one side, tape it off and just do the top. But I
Hmm.
went ahead and just did the whole thing. And it was just like it was effortlessly perfect. It's
Yeah.
cool.
With matte stuff, yeah. Yeah. I feel like, or satin or matte stuff, I feel like it's easier to mask stuff like that.
Well, what you do is you put gloss on there and then you can take like 4/0 steel wool and just you rub it until it matches the sheen. That's why I only have gloss generally. I don't have good luck with satin finishes because those flattening agents, I think they
Mm.
destroy the clarity of it. I'd rather do the murkiness myself on the top than spray something that has blockers in it,
Yeah.
especially flat.
Wow. Wow. That's a good tip.
Yeah, gloss only.
That was worth me doing this podcast tonight.
Well,
You should
let's
become a patron.
let's
You should go to SplitterCon.
Con.
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 I'm
Con.
gonna do a quick shout out to our gold level sponsors real quick, and we can chat a little bit about what we've been up to. But it's Leather by Dragonfly, Forge 3D, Celiche, KM Tools, and Rubio Monocoat. They are gold level sponsors for the
Con.
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 You
Con,
got to do
con,
it in
con,
order to
con.
see that. Sedge, me, you. We did that
Con,
pretty
con,
well.
con.
Um, so yeah, thank you to our gold level sponsors for the event coming soon. But anyways, any of you guys, either one of you, got anything interesting you've been up to? I don't even know if we talked about what we've been up to last week.
Working my tail off at work, but really good stuff. Did I talk about going to the Festool Boutique up in I
Yeah.
did talk about that already.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I got Mark Adams coming up in 2 weekends. And this weekend, I'm going to Michigan again, to Charlotte. And in between all of that, I've been shooting a ton of video and working around the house. And the power of a woodworker. What did I build this weekend? It was just really simple. I knocked it out in like an hour. And I was just like, you know what? Most people would freak out about it, but I just put it together real quick. I'm trying to remember what it was. I can't even remember. Yeah. But that's what I've been up to. Ronnie, what have you been up to?
Been up to pretty much the same thing as last week. I'm still fairing the top, which is kind of a challenge. That's one thing that's going to be not realistic on our next video. Is it's going to show that as not as big of a deal as it is. You can only show fairing for so long, but it's just. I've been using a lot of the 1/4 inch board that's like 30 inch long that I made. That
Yep.
I have a 80 grit on it, and you just go one way and go the other way and go one way and the other, and it just takes time. It takes time and just constantly just trying to get it to the point where I can put that first clear layer on there, but it's not there yet.
I walked how long is it?
About 30 inches.
Okay, so try one 12 feet long with four guys on it, about 20 feet in the air on scaffolding. And they're going in unison. I walked in, they were fairing a hull at Broward Marine.
That would
And I
be,
go,
I see the benefit.
yep,
Yeah, the longer the better because you lose the chance of doing an indentation.
yep.
I
But
thought I was close and I wet mine to, raise the grain
yeah.
and I let it dry. And the next day I came back and it was like, you could feel your hand going up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I was like, okay, here I go again. But that 80 grit is very aggressive. It doesn't take many passes to knock that back down again. So I've done that now a total of like twice, two different times, and I'm getting close. But I started with the center of the bow working out, and I'm to the point now where the wraparound ones that go from front to back, I'm beveling those to match the top,
Oh,
and that part is just it's taken a while. The motor well took forever too, and I finished that up this week. But we're close to getting that finish on there. I wanted to be there this week, but we're not going to be. But
how close is Cam coming with a trailer?
he's already got it done.
No
I'll have
way.
to
Oh
send you
wow.
some pictures of it. It looks amazing. He rewired it. He welded a new wheel on the front that now retracts up, not the one that has to be wound all the way down. New tail lights. The carpeted bunks are the only thing we have to do. The bunks are still the original. And good old Amazon, you can order 100-foot roll of carpet bunk.
No way,
Amazon,
really?
Amazon has everything.
They do.
I can't imagine doing this without Amazon. I mean, there's other boat places out there, but it would be a harder process ordering from them. So that's all we have to do with the trailer. I have to put the hook on the eye on the front. I don't know what the name of that is on the front of the boat that you connect the hook to on a trailer. That round part.
Yep. Yep.
The one I ordered is too short because it has to go through that wooden stern, so it needs to be at least like 8 inches long.
Oh.
So I'm either going to have to add on to the tie rod, the threaded rod, or something. But
Or make a new boat.
yeah,
Yeah, it's probably your best bet.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
it. That's the
Just
only way
scrap the one you
that's
have.
that's the only way we're going to be able to pull it out of there onto the trailer. When we cut the hole in the shop, we're going to turn it and put it on that eye hook and then use Cameron's winch to just pull it and let it slide out onto the bunk of the trailer. So that's the way we're
God,
going to do
Ronnie,
that.
I have the best idea ever.
What's that?
This would go so viral. When you're done with the boat, take it out to the burn pile, light it on fire.
Oh my God.
Oh,
This
that would
boat's
hurt.
taking up too much space. I got to get
That
rid of
would
this
hurt.
wood.
That would hurt so bad. I can't believe we're getting ready to be 2 years in October. It'll be 2 years. I would have said a year. It's been a year. It's been 2 years. And I feel like it's just amazing. It's taken up 25, more than 25% of the shop for 2 years, and I've been okay. It just shows you how you can change your layout and make it work if you have to. But it will be amazing to get it out of there. I'm to the point where I'm ready because I want to see
Yeah.
it out. But we are making progress. It's just now I feel like we're at the stage in a house. You know how when a house you see it flying when it's getting framed up,
Yep.
sheathing's going on, everything, and then it gets to that point where drywall's on, and all of a sudden it's like, why is the house slowing down? Like when the cabinets are going in, all those little details. We are in the details right now, and you can spend a ton of time on those.
Yep.
I told Cameron recently, I was like, we've got plans to do this amazing like stereo system and it's going to have built-in subs in the back and all these different things. And I said, we probably should just hold off on doing that. Let's get a working boat that has all the gauges and everything. And I said, let's just have that. And then we can have that as a video after the video
Yeah.
is done that we did this to the boat instead of holding it up. Because that's something
Upgrade.
that would be fun to do over the winter, put that kind of thing in. And he was all for it. He said, "Yeah, it sounds great." So we're gonna focus on the boat only things so we can get this wrapped up because I'd really like to get it wrapped up before like November, December.
Mm-hmm.
Just time is flying by. And as you know, we've got a busy month coming up.
Oh boy.
Yeah, there's a lot going on, but it's fun and I still don't regret it. It's filled up every little space of spare space I've had in my life, but it's been good.
That's cool.
I've learned a lot. And to go back to our conversation, this is the first thing that's made me use hand tools. I've managed to not use them my entire woodworking career. And now I found the place where you kind of have to use them. You can't really
Yep.
get away from it. And that's some people probably find them early on, depending on what they build. But it took me that long. But now I'm hooked.
Jason, what have you been up to?
Honestly, since finishing the basement, a lot of golf.
Attaboy.
I really, that first week after, I think I played 4 days in a row because I didn't play very much while I was those last couple weeks trying to finish it up before Max's birthday. But last week I did, start designing the poker table, which I'm actually going to end up giving to the country club. I decided because I'm not really going to have any money into it. I think I talked about this on our bourbon with the boys that we just did on Friday, but I basically found a supply company that had everything that I wanted and reached out to them to ask if they did any sort of affiliate stuff because I'd probably be driving people there to purchase things and they kind of do. So they were nice enough to say that they would donate the products that I needed for the poker table, all the hardware. So that's good. I was going to start that. But now because I've gotten them involved, it's obviously going to drag out a little bit more. Like they're sending me some felt samples and, I want to look at those and make sure I get one that, is right and priced right. So that's probably I'll probably still start it this month, but a video won't come out about it until probably October. But there is a project that I I have been talking to one of our silver level sponsors for the meetup, Eagle Woodworking. They do the dovetail drawer boxes and the doors and drawer fronts. And like NS Builders and those guys, they all use that company for their stuff. So they make a really good quality product. But we've been talking for months about some ideas for YouTube video stuff. And one of the things that we had come up with is doing a 1-day vanity build. And kind of the premise of that video is like, if you are utilizing some of these other brands that pre-make this stuff for you, you can do projects like this really quick and see the kind of quality that you get for it and all that stuff. But anyways, the downstairs bathroom Sedge that you've seen a billion times, we want to redo that because that's just
Oh,
like
cool.
a hideous bathroom. So that is the vanity that I'm going to build is
Oh.
for that bathroom.
I enjoy that bathroom.
Yeah. Oh, it's completely not our style at all.
No, not at all.
So we'll turn that into like a weekend project, when Nicole and
Very
I are both home at
cool.
the house. But that's the vanity that I'm going to build. So I'll basically just have to build the box and attach the base, and um, I'll be using their drawer boxes
Cool.
and all that. So I'll be doing that, and then filming YouTube videos again. Got the bug again, so I'm back out
Good.
there.
Good.
Back out there doing stuff. I got a video coming out this week. It'll come out before this is out, but I did a video on making a Lazy Susan platform for like spray finishing and what the
Yep.
benefits are and like how cheaply you can make them.
Oh yeah.
And the only reason I did that is because I was doing a video where I'm comparing another finish. You know how I use the Renner 718 a lot
Yep.
on the white oak? Well, Gemini Coatings, who our good friend Ryan,
Yep.
who now works for Gemini, their sister parent, or their parent, the parent company being Circa, which is an Italian base or Italian finished company. They make a product and they gave me one that can be sprayed, or one that is meant to be sprayed, and another one that is meant to be sprayed but can also be brushed or rolled.
Ooh.
And they are like a zero sheen, maybe it's a 5% sheen, something really, really low. But they were like, we have a product like that too. So some of their reps came out and gave me some quite a while ago. And I was still using the Renner 718 a lot because I wanted to use that up prior to moving on to something else. So I finally said, you know what, those stools that I made for the boys with the bench
Yeah.
pilot,
Yeah.
I finally applied the finish, and it's pretty awesome. It looks natural. It looks just like the stuff, the Renner. So I got a video coming out about that, but I was getting ready to do that video, and I'm like, you know what? I have another Lazy Susan, and these are small pieces. Why use the big one? I would love to have a smaller one for smaller things, drawer fronts, stuff like that. So I did a video on how to make that. So we'll see. Probably won't get a lot of views, but I'll title it something like "The Only Finish Accessory That You Need to Get Perfect Results."
Am I doing this right?
This hidden secret. I don't understand why more people don't do this. That's what I should do. Yeah. That's the biggest trend right now. I don't get why. I don't understand why. John from Lincoln Street, he's done it. He's even talked about it. He's like, I'm so sorry, everybody, but there's a very clear difference between these videos and then you see other people doing it too now.
I don't see why everybody doesn't build their own boat.
Yeah, I don't understand why more people don't do this.
Does that work?
No.
Yeah, it'll work.
I'd click on it though.
Yeah. I'd be like, what do you mean you don't understand why it's a boat? I got to watch
You know.
this to see what this person's saying.
And then I'm sick of the thumbnails of people altering the shape of their head. Or have you seen all of those? They alter the shape, or they make their head smaller or bigger, or remove their hair and kind of in Photoshop. It's just weird. And I follow one channel, and he did it. And I almost don't want to watch him anymore, but just because he makes great videos and he's kowtowing to the people for clickbait.
I mean, this is one of the big things I struggle with. I totally understand it. I totally get it. YouTube has made it, and the crowdedness of our space now, and every space, because everybody's trying to get that dream of making money doing social media and videos. So I understand it. But after doing it for so long, like when I look at that stuff, just like you were just talking about now, it's exhausting.
Yeah.
Will I suffer the consequences? Yes. But I finally came to grips with how much is enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And unless I'm willing to do those things, I just can't. It's just gross to me
If the
now.
thumbnail does not deliver what they said in the first, I mean, 5 seconds, I'm off. I can't take it. I found myself doing that more and more. I want them to tell me very clearly what it is in the thumbnail. And the other one is if it's an overproduced thumbnail, I usually will skip it. Like if it looks like it's an AI created,
Yeah.
total, not reality type thing, I'm like, I don't waste my time with it. I
Well,
feel like
I
it
can
was
say
good for
with
a while.
certainty because of like dealing with kids always wanting to watch stuff on TV and them scrolling YouTube or whatever the case is. All of this stemmed from the kids' videos.
Mm-hmm.
The videos that are tailored to children. The bright colors, the contrasts, the big,
Yeah, that's true.
surprised face, the things that look fake.
Yeah.
But kids
Yeah.
react to that.
You're
Like I
right.
can see it in my own children, especially Max. I'll be scrolling through something and he'll just happen to be in the room, or Leah will be watching something, and whether it's on Netflix, Amazon, Disney, because a lot of these kid YouTubers are, guess what, on all of those platforms now. But it's the bright colors, it's the big faces, it's the, a big shark or whatever the case is.
Yeah.
It works, and that's why those kids videos, and even though we're not talking about children right now, we're talking about adults, it's just that with that wow factor, and that's what everybody is
Hmm. You're
is
right.
now
That
is now
that
chasing.
Ryan that Ryan toy guy, the
Yeah,
toy
Ryan's
reviewer,
World.
his are always real bright and
Hmm.
colorful like that. You're right. You're right.
The sad thing is just like, because we're all in this space, and people, and our business is dealing with that and seeing those things, it really does get kind of old when you're seeing it, because as soon as one person does something and it works,
Everybody's doing it.
everybody follows,
So true.
to the point, like, I mean, heck, I have had thumbnails that are copied to the T and
Yep.
title because the video did well, and their videos do better in some cases.
Mm.
Oh, I know what
But
you're
it's
talking
like,
about.
and then you have 10 videos that are all exactly the same thing, and then it just completely screws all 10 people at that point, because then it's like, oh, this person, it's the same video and this person copied this and whatever. Now what's the next big thing? I don't understand why, I don't get why, whatever, for the title. And guess what? That's the real popular thing right now. Everybody's doing it because somebody did it and it worked, and everybody wants to chase that. And as much as I hate seeing it, and unfortunately have been a part of it, right? I'd be lying if I said I didn't. Um, but now I'm so glad that I just don't worry about it. Like, my disdain towards it now has really started to shift my focus and made me just not care. Like, I did this video today. I edited it. I uh, I made my 3 thumbnails because I do use the thumbnail testing thing. 3 thumbnails were done. I test one with a colored background, one with a black and white background, and one with no changes whatsoever, just a screen grab. And I let the audience decide which one works, right? Took me 20 minutes. Done, right? Whatever works, works. Next time might be something totally different. Is it going to be super successful? Probably not, but neither is the
Have,
topic. You know what I mean?
have you noticed and seen the same results when you do thumbnail comparisons, that the ones that have somebody in the thumbnail do better than ones that don't have a person in the thumbnail? I've not seen
Sometimes,
I've not seen
yeah,
any exceptions to that.
I've had it to where, yes, it was a very clear delineation. Then I've had other times where they were almost identical. So I think it just depends on. I think some people, might have that human connection. For everything you hear on YouTube and all the tricks and this title and this is what you need to have in the thumbnails, there's just as much, if not more, evidence to support the exact opposite.
Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
that's true. And I think it matters subject and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
true.
Subject, what the video is in general. Like, I can
Mhm.
do all the crazy stuff on a video on an LR32 system. It's still an LR32 video that has a very small audience. You know what I mean? Um, so it just depends. But if I did that on how to, put how to make over your stairs, there's a bigger audience looking for that.
Yep.
So a lot more people are going to click on it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true.
that thing's cranking, isn't it?
Yeah, it'll probably end up being my highest viewed video at some point, outside of a flooring video. It's crazy. I just
LVP,
need to
baby.
change my channel to Ben's Reno.
And I saw something the other day, and haven't factualized it yet, but I've heard that LVP is causing a lot of issues in concrete floor houses with mold. And I don't know any more than that, but I'm interested because I know that's being used a lot in like slab houses. That kind of makes sense. If they have moisture translating, it's not going past the LVP. So I've seen little hints of that going on.
Yeah.
Maybe something
Like
for
on a
somebody to
concrete
consider.
subfloor
Yes.
you're
Yeah,
talking about?
on a
Yeah.
slab. Yeah.
So it kind of makes me think if I was to do that on a slab, knowing that, I probably would use the same type of epoxy that I used when I put down the engineered wood flooring in our basement to seal that up before I put it on there.
I mean,
Might be a good
you can
idea.
also use a moisture barrier.
That's what that is. It's an epoxy moisture barrier. It's like a
Oh,
rubber.
got it.
You trial it on and then it levels to be
Well,
like
here-
perfectly smooth.
I'm going to have to jump, but I will share, since you're talking about the flooring, I will share a very common comment that I got on the video that I did. So I did it with the Home Depot LifeProof vinyl flooring. And that video has done very, very well. Obviously, it's every DIYer and their mother is trying to learn how to install LVP flooring, right? So when that first came out, on the instructions on the box and in the box, it actually states that a subfloor or a moisture barrier is not needed for that flooring at that time, right? And I know that because I looked at it. I was like, do I need to put a moisture barrier down? And it actually specifically said in it that it is not required. LifeProof didn't even make one for it at the time. Since then, and I've gotten so many comments, people like, wait, no moisture barrier? Since that time, LifeProof now does have a product that you place underneath it on a concrete slab, and it does say in the instructions that it is recommended. Maybe because of what you had just mentioned.
It's exactly what it is.
Well, I guess it would be for houses that didn't have a plastic vapor barrier under the slab.
Yeah.
And some people may not know that or not, if they have that or not. But yeah, I just saw that and I was like, interesting.
Yeah.
So, the more you know. Rainbow.
The more you know.
Stars.
And on that note, thank you everybody for listening to our last episode in the 100s.
Wow. Next week is 200.
We will see you on the next one. And don't get your hopes up, anybody. We don't have anything major planned. All of our efforts are going towards one thing and one thing alone.
Yep.
And that is the
Con.
It starts at the top and goes down.
I know.
Or down and up. That's why I tried to do it in between, and then Sedge did it at the same time I did. Let's try it again.
Who's on top?
We're all focused.
We may be in
You're
different
on
order,
top.
though.
Oh, okay. It's Sedge, me, Ronnie.
Okay, I'm changing.
We're
my
all been
windows.
focusing on the
Con.
con.
Yeah, there we go.
Thank you for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye-bye. Bye-bye.